Hi everyone, this is Miss Tejada, and today we are going to learn how to maintain an academic tone when we're writing an essay for our class or any class. So let's get into the PowerPoint. Alright, maintaining an academic tone. Before we actually look at the steps, the 5 steps that we could take to write a more formal essay, I want you to try out this little exercise. So make sure that you take out a sheet of paper and try this out with me. So you're gonna first write a text to a friend to let them know you will not be in class. So take a moment. If you were to write a text message, what would that look like? Write that out for me. Next, I want you to write an email to your instructor to let them know you won't be in class. So go ahead and pause the video really quick, and when you're finished, go ahead and press play. Okay, so this is probably close to what you wrote in your notes. For the text message, you might sound a little like this. Hey, won't be there today. Tell me what we did. Smiley face. And for the email, you're probably sounding a little bit closer to this. Hi, Miss Tejada. I'm sorry I will not be in class today. I was called into work at the last minute. I have attached my reading log to this email, and I will get the missed information from my study buddy. Best, Effie. So the difference here is that the text message to a friend is really informal because they are our friend, and it's a text message. And the email to your instructor is just a little bit more professional. It's still friendly in tone, but you're writing complete sentences, you're being a little bit more respectful, and maybe you even took an extra minute or two to make sure that you have complete sentences and that your message makes sense. So you already change your tone depending on who you're speaking to, and that's what we do when we write an academic essay. Another way to think about this is with the clothes that you wear. So if we were watching Netflix on a Sunday morning, it'd probably be okay that we're wearing our bunny slippers. It'd be totally fine. You're relaxing. But if I walked into class tomorrow morning with some bunny slippers on, you all will look at me like I am a crazy lady. So, our clothes is appropriate for the occasion. Bunny slippers are okay on a Sunday, not okay for work. Another example are high heels. So you don't want to write your essay as if you were wearing your bunny slippers. But you also don't need to write your essay as if you were wearing your really uncomfortable heels or your tight tie. You still want to sound like you. You don't want to sound like a robot or like a thesaurus. Um, you just want to be a better polished version of yourself. So something in the middle between bunny slippers and high heels. Okay, so let's take a look at the 5 things that you can do to make your essay sound more academic. Number 1, you want to be unbiased and fair. What that means is that we're going to avoid being one-sided and instead be professional and diplomatic. So this means that your tone should not sound like you have a bias. You don't want to sound totally one-sided, even though you of course have an agenda and you are of course trying to persuade someone. You don't want to give that away. Number 2, use the first or third person. You want to avoid the second person, which is you, and instead use I, people, they. So at the very least, when you're writing an academic essay, you want to avoid the word you at all costs, because we don't want to write as if we are speaking to one particular person. And when you use you, that's what you're doing. A note on the word I. You don't want to abuse it. So you want to avoid phrases like I think or I feel, because you can write your sentence without those phrases and it make complete sense. I'll show you some examples of this in class. Number 3, you want to choose your words carefully. So you want to pay attention to the words that you're using. Instead of using ambiguous words like stuff or things, you want to be a little bit more thoughtful and use precise language. So if you said something like, I did a lot of stuff this summer, instead of doing that, you would want to say, I went to the beach, I hung out with my friends, and I visited my grandparents this summer. Now you're being a little bit more precise and your reader understands what you're trying to say. Number 4, do not use slang. Avoid text talk, cliches, and contractions. Instead, use standard English. So remember that there's absolutely nothing wrong with the way that we talk at home. When I'm talking to my family, I use slang all the time. I use curse words. I switch between Spanish and English. But when I am at work in front of the classroom, I do pay more attention to the words that I'm using, to the language that I'm using. And you should too when you're writing your essay. And number 5, the last thing that you could do to maintain an academic tone is avoid conversational cues. These are words like well, I mean, like, and am I right? Instead of using those words to fill in the, the gaps, you want to instead use transitional words and phrases like however, therefore, and of course. We're going to do a little activity on maintaining an academic tone in class. So make sure that you view this video and understand the 5 ways that you can maintain a more academic tone when writing your essay. And we'll definitely break this down further when we see each other. Okay, take care. Bye.